Goat Power Bikes, Motor Goat V3, had it for a year, just have not got to reviewing it, lots to say. Gonna put lots of things on screen showing different tests I've done so you know what this thing's all about. But first, we gotta show the acceleration. Slight uphill, this bike isn't gonna care. Here we go. Already at 20, this bike flies. .40, just like that. All right, slowed it down so you don't have all that wind noise, but again, pay attention on screen. I'm gonna show a lot of things there that I'm not gonna talk about, just so that way we can keep this on point, get you a lot of information quick and on your way. First, I started this trip today from Waffle Farms in Coldwater, Michigan. So if you appreciate the scenery, different spot, I've never shot from here before, give me a thumbs up for that scenery. But two, I have always thought it would be amazing to shoot on the road, to go different magical locations and shoot these e-bike videos from there so you can see something amazing along the way. So if you would like that, comment down below, but more importantly, tell me where you think I should shoot from. What locations would be beyond magical and I just need to know about. But that all being said, let's get to this review. So this bike, I will put stats on screen, but it is not short on power and I will get back to that. If you're thinking of e-bikes and how you're gonna use them, there are a lot of styles out there. You know, the fat tire e-bikes, or, you know, the more e-mopeds, or, you know, are they really off-road bikes? Are they pedal bikes? And you gotta know what you want, because this bike is very specific. It's very good if you want that, but if there's certain things you want, this might not have it. What I mean by that, if you want more of a typical bike experience with e-bike and you're pedaling, this is probably not gonna be the bike. I'm just gonna cut right to that. I have been riding this for a year. I have barely pedaled it. Now, one, I am a really big guy, and this bike, I am huge on it. I feel kind of large. I think they sell a seat riser, which would help. I just don't have that. But when I pedal, my knees are up at my chest. It only has one speed. It's not comfortable. It's not really helping you go. You aren't pedaling this because you want to get exercise or you want to ride a bike. You are getting this because it is an e-moped. It is a powerful bike that you're going to use the throttle, you're going to use the range, and you're just going to go with the electricity side of it. And if that's what you're looking for, well, I'll break it down, but this bike is fantastic. It's connected to the road. I talk about that in every video because to me that's one of the most important things. You don't want to feel like you're bouncing off. You don't want to feel like you're losing control. These things can be powerful. They can be fast. You don't want to feel like, you know, you're getting disconnected and the slightest of wrong moves, you're going to go flying off this thing. You can tell this is just built with high quality parts. This is not a cheap build. The price reflects that, but you get what you pay for in this bike. It is just snugging the road. When I swerve, you know, I'll show it on screen. It is just, it's nimble, it's connected, it just feels safe, and that is what you want. Even when you're at high speeds, it still feels good. So from that perspective, a very well-built bike. It's got some really solid suspension. It's got a spring underneath me in the mid here. It's got the typical suspension in the front. So it's got more than your typical e-bike that's usually just on the front end. And again, that helps with that connected feeling, but it also just helps you not feel like you're getting bounced around. It has more of a comfort to it. The seat itself, it's wider. It's not your typical bike seat. So it holds you well. It just feels comfortable, but then you have that suspension under you and it makes for a very comfortable ride. This is a bike you could ride for a very, very long time and thoroughly enjoy it, be very comfortable, and not have any complaints. So from that perspective, very, very good. When it comes to bikes that are more, I don't know, made for the road, you know, less like, I'm just going for a bike ride, I'm pedaling, yeah, it's gonna do a little e-bike stuff here and there. I want features that make me feel a little bit more road safe. I want turn signals, I want high beam, low beam, and I just want to be able to let the road know what I'm doing, and this has it right here. Left turn signal, it indicates in the front and the back, same thing on the right side. It even has yields, a clicker up here, and I can yield and show, hey, watch out for me, you know, whether it's riding at night or if you're riding slow and you just want to let people know, or you just have a reason to put yields on, you can do something like that. So I really, really like that. This bike only has 3 PAS levels, basically slow, pretty high, and really high. The slow one, I think it only goes maybe like 12 miles per hour, which is great. So if you're doing something in the city, you're like, I got to tone that power down, I'm just cruising, you could put it there. But if you put it 2 or 3, you'll quickly know. And I'm cruising around in 3, so I can hammer it if I want. Actually, probably for these slow parts, I should just go down to 1 and maybe just hold it full throttle. To show you what that's like here, yeah, slightly downhill going 13.5, 14. So it'll cruise at a nice slow speed, but I got it fully throttled out here and I'm just cruising, which is great for just maintaining a slow speed and maybe extending your mileage, getting your more range out of this. Some of the other things, it has the more typical shifter, the Shimano right here. It does have a key for on off, which I love, not as easy to steal. It also has a crossbar that holds in the back. You unlock it with one of these keys here, and you have a spot that's made to go through, and it pins the wheel, so people, again, cannot steal this nearly as easy, which, as expensive this is, and as bikes are just so common to get stolen these days, I love that they don't allow that to be an easy thing. They actually are giving you tools that are right there and available to make it much, much harder to steal. So awesome, awesome features there. Cable management is very clean. I love these little spiral wraps. And then all the cables just being put together or put inside the bike in various spots. Very clean, put together. Big old headlight in front, which does have a high beam and low beam right here. Basically, if I remember correctly, it has a light in it, and then it turns on an extra light on the top or the bottom, depending on what setting you select here. So you have that for if you're doing some night riding and you need a little bit more light. It does have the horn, a little bit of a higher pitched horn there. But yeah, as far as rideability, you know, everything here, again, I've been using this for a year. It works great. Brakes, let me crank it, let's just go, and I will brake this. All right, 40 miles per hour, hammering it. All right, but as you can see there, this thing stops very well. I think I've had some that maybe I would give a slightly higher marks, but it still brakes extremely well. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. As far as going 40 and needing to hit the brakes, it's very controlled, but very strong. You can really stop yourself well, so I got no complaints there. Very, very solid braking system. Now, something I often talk about is off-roading, and there are bikes that are really not meant for it, but you might hit a trail here or there. And then there's bikes that are meant for it, and I really try to test those out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not taking this off-roading. This is lower to the ground. It has smoother, less off-roadish tires on it. I don't personally think anything about this bike is made for off-roading, including the power, because it really puts the power down, and if you're in loose conditions, it's not really gonna be all that friendly. Now, if you're in a trail where it just becomes, you know, a little dirtier, a little off-roadish, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, but it's not made for anything extreme, so I'm just not gonna do that today. But let's wrap up my thoughts with the power. This bike, you really buy this for the power. I mean, it is a fun e-bike. If you're like, hey, I know what e-bikes are all about, but I want more than that. I want something that can just go. And there's different ways e-bikes go. There are some that they'll have a lot of power eventually. And what I mean by that is, if you're stopped and you hit the throttle real hard, it starts real slow, the power ramps in, eventually it's going, and maybe it can accelerate quick, or maybe it can get a high top end speed. This does everything. It has immediate throttle response. So if you're stopped and you hammer it in PAS3, you're gonna go. The acceleration up to top speed is there the whole way through. It is gonna go. And then the top end speed, I am 225 pounds, 6'3", block all the wind, and this thing can still get going, I don't know, 42 to 45 miles per hour, which is just amazing. So in short, fun, a thrill ride, fantastic built bike, but a little expensive, not gonna give you a lot of exercise, not gonna ride like a regular bike, more like a fancy moped with a very specific look, and that's something I haven't talked about yet. It's kind of got the motorcycle look to it. I'll leave it up to you if that's a fit for you or not. I'll put plenty of footage on the screen so you can see it, but that is my summary of this bike. So if those match you and you're like, the pros that he's mentioning, I love, then I think you're gonna love this bike, because it is a very well-built bike that is a lot of fun to ride around. Again, I went 45 miles per hour on this bike, you know, when the conditions are right, and otherwise it's gonna get me up to like 42, 43 pretty easy just about every time. So very capable of speed and acceleration and safety while you're doing it for an e-bike, because let me tell you, there are e-bikes out there that can go fast. They do not feel safe, and I do not like that combo at all. So if this was helpful for you, hit that like button for me, subscribe to see future videos, comment down below and let me know what you think about locations, things you want to know, what bikes I should review. It is super helpful and shows YouTube what's up and that my videos are worth showing. So thank you so much, but until next time, I hope you have a great one.